An entire town of children fell mysteriously ill. How would they ever survive? An old Cherokee medicine woman would have the answer. Appalachia, the mountains, are like no other. From its rigid terrain, beautiful wildlife, the history, to the people that live their lives here, to the strange, unexplained stories that folks share. Join me while I share this amazing place, one story at a time. This is the heartwarming, heroic tale of Granny Outlaw. Granny Outlaw was born in the 1830s. Her mother, a Cherokee medicine woman, her father, an Irish immigrant. Her mother taught her the Cherokee ways and how to use herbs, roots, tree barks, berries, and other things to create medicine to help the sick. As she grew older, she learned more. Eventually, her mother passed and she became the new medicine woman. Strangely, Granny Outlaw never married or had any children. She lived alone in her little cabin. For many a year, folks looked her up to heal their ailments. As her mother taught her, it is almost a sin to accept payment for the medicine and the deeds she had done, for she never charged a single penny to anyone. One summer, all the children, one by one, fell ill. It was a sickness like never seen before. They grew worse and worse until the town elder feared they would perish. Having no answer on what to do, he sent for Granny Outlaw. In an instant, she packed a small bag, grabbed her medicine box, and went to town. She checked over each child and then headed for the woods. She would soon return with a few things. She placed a pot on the fire, filled it with water, and added berries and roots and herbs and other things she'd collected. It came to a boil, then she let it cool and gave each child a dose of this medicine. Over the next few days, one by one, the children got better. The town folk were so grateful to Granny Outlaw for her heroic deed. Try as they might, she would never expect anything for her work. She went home and kept to her usual routines. But sadly, while Granny was away helping to mend a broken leg, a storm blew in. Thunder and rain were everywhere in the air. A streak of lightning hit her old house, setting it ablaze. She later came home that day to find only ashes where her house used to be. She was absolutely heartbroken, for she had no money to her name. The local town folks found her a place to stay for a few days, and they would take care of her animals and farm for her not to worry. But after a month of Sundays, they took her back home. They had a surprise for her. As they come over the ridge, there was her cabin, just as if it had never burned at all. All the local men rebuilt her cabin in return for saving the children. She was so grateful for them, and she lived her last few years with all the town folks. She treated each and every one of them as if they were her own children. Well, folks, I want to thank you for sitting and listening to the tale of old Granny Outlaw. And through her mother's training, was able to save an entire town of children. And in return, they rebuilt her house just as it was before it burnt. Well, I'd like to thank you for sitting and listening to me. We love you to pieces, and we'll see you next time.